Hello, everyone. It's me, Kirsten, and this is the It's Giving Mystical podcast. And this is your podcast for the week ahead, the week of July 4th. Happy July 4th. Happy birthday, America. This is going to be an interesting month. There is just this idea of something testing the system. There's the Uranian transit happening on the 7th, I believe, that astrologers are very activated about, very interested in what new information that puts into the system or into the grid. So we'll see how that goes. Generally, I can tell you that what came up in the larger July reading feels really accurate. There's just something about your system that's getting tested, something about your sense of your identity, the narrowness with which you've allowed yourself to exist in some dimension is getting expanded, is getting broken open. It feels really good. It feels like it's something that's been prepping for a long time. And now there's that armor, or in a cartoon where the boiler starts to get full of more heat, there's the metal frameworks that have felt so rigid, so sure, so certain are getting broken up. And that will be an experience you're having in your own system. That will be an experience you're having in your community. That will be an experience that the world is having. So grace and compassion for yourself as you human, as you try to exist in the world. The card I pulled for us this week is our good old friend, the King of Wands. Love him. And there's just this energy that you are going to be feeling yourself this week. You're just going to be feeling yourself. Something is going to generate this energy of, like, it's me, like in the best way. I had this really interesting thing just happen before I started recording. I look out at a window. That's what I'm looking at right now. And there was a mouse like stuck somewhere. And my son went out there and put a branch down so the mouse could climb up and out. And I was thinking about, I was like, why is this all happening right now? When I sat down to record, and the energy I was getting was like, him and I were both terrified of the mouse. And the mouse is just this little guy. And the mouse is obviously scared of my son stomping around above him with a branch, and probably scared of me too if I stuck my head out the window. But we are equally afraid of the mouse. And the energy was like, don't underestimate your presence. Don't underestimate your power. And if you imagine that you are learning to stretch into new parts of yourself, new parts of your identity, if you're learning to have a wider sense of what's possible for you, you could imagine that you can walk into spaces a little unsure, like a little bit, is it the old me? Is it the new me? And there's something about this week where you are met with the reflection that you are more powerful than you have imagined, that you are changing, that you are growing. There's something about the King of Wands showing up that's like, check yourself in the best way, not check yourself like you're too much, like check you out, like check you out kind of energy. The energy of I feel myself, the energy of feeling like lit up and excited and full of energy. With the King of Wands, he always is a little too full of energy, right? There can be this sense of it can tilt over into excess. But I really didn't feel that when he came in. The way I came in was things are changing, you are changing, and you're going to have this moment this week where you walk into a space and think, oh, I am different. This is different. So maybe it's an interaction, maybe it's a conversation, maybe it's a project, maybe it's work you bring yourself to, where you think, oh, this is a new me. This is a different me. And it's going to feel really good. There's going to be something very gratifying and life-giving about it. Something that just gets you excited, gets you kind of turned on and excited about being you. I feel really good about that. Usually this guy comes in and it's like, oh, I don't know, bit off more than you can chew. But between this and the mouse situation we just had, there's this sense of, though you be small, you are mighty kind of energy. Even though you're one person, we talk all the time about this wild world. Even though you're one person, don't underestimate your power. Don't underestimate your impact. And don't underestimate the things that maybe feel beyond your scale. There's something here about scaling up, scaling out, like moving more energy through you, moving more energy into the world via you, a cleaner expression of who you are, cleaner, fuller, wider expression of who you are. Don't underestimate what's happened. And I love the idea of you kind of meeting the world this week and having that mirrored back to you, that reflected back to you of like, I feel you and you're different and it's good. And I'm excited to know this next version of you. Which brings us to this idea of who you interact with, this idea of your community. And there's the famous thought or axiom or truth or research truth, maybe even, that you are who you surround yourself with. I think about this all the time because I remember hearing data about young men in particular. My son's 13. Young men in particular, how as they enter this middle school, high school age, and maybe it's teenagers in general, but I think it was just young men, that parents have so much less influence on them. So the greatest indicator of where they're going in life are the people they surround themselves with. And then it's this hope and a prayer of, I hope I've done a good job. I hope he has good instincts about who he spends time with. And then I hope that they walk a good path together. And I am obviously there to influence it and be part of it. But there is something about a real recognition of how your community shapes you, of how who you allow into your space determines where you're going. And I also see that here with the King of Wands, this opportunity to become part of something new, or this opportunity to spread beyond the boundaries of where you've existed. Like, there's a lot of gratification in this card. There's a sense of feeling yourself in a way that feels really good. And there's a sense of, I don't know, being proud of yourself, like being impressed with yourself, that you have, it has this energy of something you've been cultivating or something you've been working on in the dark, and then bringing it to the light and having it applauded, having it celebrated, and having a community that can celebrate you with generosity. And there's something about that that's here too. The only other thing that really comes through is the sense of being tempered. The King of Wands obviously is the fire king, the king of fire energy. And there's something about letting yourself be tempered by your experiences out in the world. So cultivating this new energy, bringing it into spaces, into new communities, having that reflected back to you, having you be celebrated for that, and then allowing this tempering to happen. I just keep picturing this armor, this shell, this structure that has become so part of you, you don't even realize it's not the only way, or it's not inherent. And there's something about the fire, the expression this week, the stretching, the buildup of pressure this week that's actually tempering that metal and softening it. I just really keep feeling the sense of this armor that wants to expand, that wants to change shape, that no longer fits you, and how tight and uncomfortable that becomes. And there's something about this week about not only the fire in you, like the feeling you, but the way the fire is actually changing your shape. So let yourself, I kind of want to say, let yourself get carried away a little bit this week, and trust that you'll know when to pull back, when to take a break. But there is something about testing the edges, testing the boundaries, testing what's possible, and testing yourself. This idea of being tempered, being tested, going out onto the field. There's something about bringing something that matters to you out into the world. And I'm curious about what that's like. It feels like a week you can be a little risky, you can be a little messy, you can be a little clumsy with this energy. If you're going to take a chance, this is a week to take a chance. So trust yourself. Like, that would be the thing. Trust yourself. Trust what life brings to you, what life wants to work with you through. Otherwise, yeah, just really permission to enjoy yourself, to permission to enjoy the new version of you that you're bringing to the stage or bringing to the field, and let it feel good. Be proud to be you. Trust your strength. Regardless of what size or shape you take, you have a power inherent in you, and there's something about trusting that. The investigation we're doing with Siren this month is so interesting in Mystic Rising. The Siren is so misunderstood. It's the energy of strength as it exists as the feminine in the world. And there's something about bringing that to the world in a way that does temper things, that does break things, that does shake things up, as a gift, as an invitation into depth, as an invitation into more. And that's just here with us in July. But the King of Wands showing up is like, bring it, baby, bring it. Let's play. Let's break things up. Let's change shape a little bit, and let's see what other containers we want to fill, what other spaces we want to light up. I don't know, I'm kind of into it. So let me know how this lands. Let me know how the King of Wands is feeling in your body, where he might be showing up in other people in your life. And just enjoy as much as you can this week, and also give yourself permission to be a little bit over the top messy this week. I don't normally say that, but I really feel it here. So that is on the King of Wands, and that is on your week ahead. And I hope it's a great one, and talk to you soon. Bye.